The days are getting shorter. The weather is getting colder. But it's always hot here, folks, because this is the Prime Time King. With the mighty, powerful 24/7 Fusion Media, the ever-mysterious Vigilante Williamson, and your humble announcer and co-host, Baron Norman Tag. So get your feet up and toasty from the warmth they'll be giving, because it is the Primetime King. I was a little early, wasn't I? Oh well, we all make mistakes. Here we go. Hi everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the Primetime Kings. I'm Brer Norman Tag. Sitting next to me, of course, is 24/7 Fusion Media, and below me here is Vigilante Williamson, the ever mysterious one.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Hey, doing great. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good.
Glad to hear it. And I just wanted to compliment 24/7 Fusion Media. He was on Ryan Roger Athe yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, good show.
How you doing, 24? How you holding up, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yesterday, some folks hit me up. I had some family members watching, and so I got man, you all right? And what's going on with you? And why you drinking all that? And I heard a bunch of bullshit, and I was like, man, y'all leave me alone, man. But it was all out of care and concern. They just kind of came at me a little sideways.
It's all love.
Yeah.
You did have
but
I mean, I had those days. I'm not gonna talk shit about drinking. I've had those days like, oh, that bottle is gone. I went through it. You know what I mean? I had those days, so I'm not in this place to talk shit about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I just want you to be good, bro. As long as you good, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Just,
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just they were saying they said they ain't never seen they said they ain't never seen nobody drink no bottle like that, man.
Sometimes there's times that we just need to do it,
maybe I just been around some degenerates. I have, like I said, I've done pretty much the same thing. Like I don't know.
Shit, I know.
The ever mysterious and staggering Vigilante.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's like that, man.
Like I said, it was over a decade since I've done it. I've done some shit like that, but it was just one of those times, man. It's not like every week or every year or whatever. It took, some major shit to go down, but.
Yeah, man.
But I'm all right, man, and shit. Thank y'all for being there with me and for me, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And we got Sentient Dildo, man. Appreciate you, brother. Sean.
Hell, Sentient Dildo.
What's up, Sean? Yeah, man. Shit, appreciate y'all, man. I seen them both yesterday, man. So appreciate y'all, man. Vig loves
that fire water.
Oh shit! Let me ask you this: you ever drunk Crazy Horse, man?
Crazy? I don't know.
No,
I don't think so.
No, it's an old beer, man, that they came out with the Indian called Crazy Horse.
Nah,
you never drunk that shit?
No, I don't really like beer, but like liquor.
Right.
Man,
yeah. I mean, I'm not a liquor.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a beer drinker that either, man. So I get you.
I couldn't get with beer, man. I couldn't.
I love beer.
A lot of people love beer. I remember talking to somebody about beer. I just couldn't fuck with it, man.
Well, the thing with beer is, man, that should put that weight on you, man. That's really why I stopped fucking with it, man. And It's funny. I got some beer in the fridge, man. But it's like, my boy that helped me, help me get this house, man. He lives next door, so he'll come with a fucking 12-pack. Like, yo, man, what's up? And, and that's, that's my brother. I've been knowing him, for over a decade, man. So, I'm not gonna tell him no. So he'll come in, I'll drink a beer or two, he'll drink a beer or two, and then he's like, all right, man, I'm about to go to the house. He lives next door, so he'll go back to the house, and I'll just fucking put the beers in the fridge, and they'll just stay there, man. And I'll just wait till he comes back to grab another one. I ain't just fucking dipping in, drinking that shit, just on the strength of just on the strength of just drinking it, man. I can't fuck around like that, man. Not with beer, man.
Yeah. And I got enough. I do enough things that I put on weight. And I just looked up Firewater. I do remember this shit back in the day. I don't drink that shit now, but back when I was younger, because it was cheaper, man, you would get some Firewater, bro. You would get some Firewater. What was the other shit that was kind of like a cinnamon side whiskey? It said a fire.
Oh, Fireball.
Fireball, yeah.
Oh man, that motherfucker there, dude. Man. Maybe I shouldn't even say this. Yeah. Dude, one day, fuck it, man. You know what? It's the Primetime Kings, man. I'm just back when I was in my 20s, man. Man, I had the smoking hot chick, man. We was getting hot and was mucking it up, dog. So she came up with this idea. She's like, "Yo, let me suck on this Fireball, and then let me suck on your No." And I was like, "What?" And when she did it,
no!
Woo! You talking about? I was all over
that sort of thing.
Hey man, hey, that shit. Hey, no, that shit ended the fucking night, bro. That shit. That was,
yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, on fire.
Ooh,
man,
unless
I'm talking
you're
about
into that BDSM. I can't imagine that being fun.
That shit was fucking. It was like when I pitched it was on fire, bro. It was just like that cinnamon and whatever that shit got all in my. Holy shit! That shit was. Yeah, don't ever fuck with no Fireballs and sex, man. That shit has no place to go nowhere, man. Don't ever do that.
Was she a sadist? Honestly, was she a sadist?
That's what I'm like. What was she trying to do?
Nah, I mean, she used to love sucking on the motherfuckers, and all of a sudden, hey, I got this idea, and then you about to handle up on your boy. So I'm like, shit, yeah, and then all of a sudden when I was like, woo, hey, I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden I'm running to the restroom, I'm underwater, and dog, it was a wrap, dude. It was a wrap, dude.
Never dealt with that. This one girl said she does shit with ice, but I didn't even want to fuck with that like that.
Man, that shit was holy shit. Yeah, man.
That shit, the Firewater, man. You had some Firewater and some weed in a mid chick. You was gonna smash back in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? You had some Fireball. It could have been big. It didn't have to be the best weed. Just a little, or what else?
Right.
If you had
another shit that I always drink was that Goldschlager.
Get it with Tito's.
Goldschlager.
Goldschlager.
Man. You don't remember like I think if I'm not, it's like vodka with fucking gold chips in that motherfucker, man.
Oh, I remember that shit.
Yeah.
That's that Goldschlager, yeah, man. That motherfucker there. I haven't seen nobody drink that shit in over 20 years, man. But
right? That was some shit that was like around in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah, that was a 90s thing right there. Yeah, it was big too, man. Dude, if you had some chips in your shit, boy, you was the man. I got that Goldschlager. You shake that motherfucker up. It's like a Christmas tree in that bitch with with the gold. Yeah,
I remember that. You talking about the liquor?
I don't even see that shit. Dude. Now I think I haven't seen that shit in the fucking store since then.
Right.
But then again, if you ain't looking for it, it could be all in your face. But if you looking for your shit, Goldschlager could be right there. You passed up for the last 20 years. You wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Shit, how it is, isn't it?
I was in rural Michigan. They used to fuck with that Jaeger. I didn't like Jaeger, man.
Oh, Jaeger bombs. Yeah, man.
People loved it. It just was not my thing.
That was another 90s thing. That was. I mean, Jaeger bombs and shit.
Jaeger. It was like the thing for no offense, but the Caucasian individuals. They love their Jaeger. I was not a fan.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could call you a bigot, but you're right. Usually Wisconsinites.
Especially Midwestern
they
Caucasians. That's just
really
like a thing.
It's funny.
That's
See, even
like,
since
freaking-
Gentleman's fuck with Jaeger.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was huge. It was Jaeger. It was like,
Yeah, that shit. That was big time, man. That was.
it still kind of is.
it still is.
And then
It was like, oh,
uh,
shit. Especially when you young, you got some Jaeger. It's like, because that shit is expensive for a younger.
And then of course,
you was a man.
Then of course it's that shit I got in the kitchen. That what's that? That 100 proof shit. What is that?
1800 or something.
Nah, that's
What you
no.
got?
Hold on, man. I grabbed the motherfucker right here.
Everclear?
All right. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, there's Everclear.
Everclear. I never.
Yeah,
fucked
that's-
with
Yeah,
it.
there you
Yeah,
go.
that's
I,
basically
knew
just-
some- I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
basically
when
just
you said that, I
green
turned right back
alcohol.
around. I was like, yeah. Oh yeah, that motherfucker, man. I took a shot of that
That's
shit,
up.
man.
I never
That
fucked
shit
with the
was-
Everclear. That shit was because it looked like
It goes
rubbing
here on your
alcohol.
hair.
I'm not
Let's
about
put
to
it
drink
that way.
Not fucking with that, man. It's too much. It's too intense, man.
Yeah, it grows. It grows the hair on your chest. Hair on your chest.
Just erodes your liver instantly, man. It's
Oh,
just
man,
like,
that stuff is.
oof.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. That's
Oh yeah.
you know,
yeah.
if I fucking, you know, yeah, man. If I fuck around and make like a little mixed drink or something, I'll
Mhm.
take a little bit and kind of throw that motherfucker in there real quick. Hopefully it'll turn up the night or something. You know what I'm saying? Never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I never fuck. Well, you know what? No, I say that. There was this one party where there was some Everclear and some drinks. Now, when you mentioned mixed drinks, I'm like, no, there was people mixing Everclear with shit. And that was one of the most fucked up I ever been. I was drinking so much, man. So much.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah,
actually,
You know,
like, I think my
dropping
sister
a,
graduation party. That was crazy.
Ooh.
That was so crazy, man. Yo, I shouldn't tell this story. Here's a story I shouldn't tell.
all right, what's up?
Because y'all
Uh-oh.
fuck with me. But at least
Mhm.
the husband was not in jail. So he
Oh,
was actually, but he was at the party,
Mhm.
but nothing happened. I was at my sister's graduation and there was a lot of people there and keep in mind, I don't want to tell the location, but they had moved to the South. I was still in Michigan. I went down there and there was a lot of people from the area, a lot of people my mom worked with, and other people worked with, a lot of people at this party, and it was a lot of alcohol. And, like a lot of alcohol. And there were people even kids getting drunk. It was crazy. It was like we were in I want to say a Holiday Inn or something like that. I don't know how they allowed it. At some point though, man, I almost went up in the room with one of these 40-year-old cute looking MILFs.
ooh.
But her husband caught her. Luckily, I wasn't there when he got caught because it could have been an issue. 'Cause I was ready to take her, and she was tore up, and I was tore up.
Mhm.
And she said, "Yeah, man, she said something about she's cheated on her husband before, and so it's not a big deal for her, but she just doesn't want to get caught." And
Wait.
I
So I guess you about to get to it. Go ahead, keep going, man.
No, oh yeah,
I
because
have a
we were
question.
about to go. We were about to. I'm like, oh yeah, man, we should just get a room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mhm.
And so we were about to get it down. But at some point, because it was like again a lot of alcohol, I went outside to smoke weed, and then when I came back, she was gone. And apparently, her husband was like looking for her because she was supposed to be home. So I'm like, oh shit! So her husband went and got her. So I'm like, man, if I was sitting there talking to her like that, and her husband came around,
well, how the fuck he knew she was there?
I don't know how he knew. I
Nah,
guess he
see,
must have had like connect. It was a lot of people at this
Right.
party.
Mhm.
Somebody probably tipped off, like, hey, your wife is talking to such and such son. I think you should probably come up here. And then I happened to leave and it happened to be smooth because I was out there smoking with family. She was cute enough for the night, man.
Mhm.
And I'm glad I ain't get no confrontation with her husband though, bro.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, that's
You don't need that.
No, I gotta stop this. It's a sin, man. It's adultery, man. It's not right.
Mhm.
But like, and nothing happened, right? And I know y'all always talk about the man in jail. That's not a thing, man. That's not a thing. It's completely manufactured
Word.
and sent your dildos, my
Oh, what's up, Jeebus?
hell, Jeebus.
Hey, how's it going,
Just,
brother? Yeah, there you go,
chat
man.
with Jeebus.
Yeah, man. Jeebus is awesome, man. Keely Chow, my man. Roll Tide, brother. How's it going, man?
They'll kill each other. Wait, isn't
Yeah, man.
Krampus that thing? Isn't Krampus like a demon?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. It's that yeah,
Like
Krampus.
Conan O'Brien.
It's that horror movie.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's from I believe it's German or that from that area. There is kind of like
Mm.
the anti-Santa. If you're a bad kid or whatever, he comes by and takes you away.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But they made a
Well,
movie
I
about it.
don't-
Yes,
Yeah.
and 24 is right. They made a movie.
Yeah, a few years ago, Krampus. Yeah, and that was
Okay.
Krampus Divas. Yeah,
And no, I'm not
Jesus,
capping
man.
since you dildo. I've had. See, that wasn't like to be indicative of, oh, I just always date. I look for people who in jail and date their girls. That's not a thing. It's just that I've had like such a crazy life that I end up in these wild ass situations. Hence, that's another one. But it's not like y'all made it like a thing. Like that's something I go for. So no, it's just I've had a crazy life, and I've been in these crazy misadventures where I'm like, how did I get myself in this situation? Like the end of a 60s cartoon. Like, what's gonna happen to Vigilante next week? Tune in. You know what I mean? Like,
There
so
you
I
go.
get myself in these goofy situations.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, a lot of it came from being thirsty for the young ladies or the not so young ladies. You get yourself in situations when you're young
man.
on a
But you know what,
private sale,
man?
man.
And man, being out here in H-Town though, ooh, man.
Yeah, man. So I was not. I was
Ooh-wee,
in
man.
the middle of nowhere, and it was nothing but
Mm.
mid, and it was a mess. It was a mess. Listen, it may not be an accident. I constantly talk to people who are talking to other people. That's probably a problem. But the fact that one of them happened to be in jail is just like, statistically speaking, that was going to happen, right? You talk to enough people eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's,
you know it.
again, probably another issue that I have.
Yo, Lord Thoth, what's going on, brother?
Hell, Lord Thoth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Lord Thoth.
Shit,
I was gonna
man.
say
We got
it,
some yeah, man, we got some folks in the house. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Damn. He says it's going all right. How's it going? Hey, man. I'm all right, man. Doing better today than I was yesterday, man. But sure appreciate y'all, man. Shit. Had a good time though, man. Oh shit, man. I had like what 76 people already watched that live stream I did yesterday. I was like, man, it's like, yeah, I was like, you know, guess they wanted to see, I guess somebody might have said, hey man, you seen this motherfucker in the first 10 minutes of this shit. Look at what he does. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
you know, my brother was like, yo, you know, what happens if your son watches it? And I was like, he's like, yeah, man. I was like, well, I said, it's not like it happens all the time. So
No,
I said, but
that's
you know, but it was just, you know, like I said, and I even said in the last stream, I said I could have just sat there on the couch and don't even fucking. I said I didn't want to do that, man. I just wanted to just fucking chill with y'all, man. That's all I give a fuck about, man. And
Mm-hmm.
midst of that, I was drinking and smoking and whatever, and that's just it. You know, it was what it was, man. I was, you know, having a little moment, man. So
And you know, you were sharing it with your family here. You know, we're all family, and
right,
we were there
yeah,
for you. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it's
thank
like,
you, man.
yeah. I mean, you know, should never. None of us should be afraid to share, you know, stuff like this with each other because we all care about each other. I mean, you know, Lord
I love y'all,
Thoth
man.
and
Well, you
yeah,
too, man.
and Keely and well, I'll even include Senior Dildo. You
Yeah.
know?
He cares. He talks his shit. He cares.
I know he loves.
Yeah.
I love him, and of course Krampus.
That's his gimmick.
Yeah, we know him. You know, he's always with us, and you know, he's a big supporter, and people in our chat are wonderful, and the people that we deal with, you know, that we kind of know with the online. I mean, it's kind of funny. At the same time, you know, I had to go over, so I kind of had you on the background while I was doing King Dolphin, and Wendy Webb, who's a trauma nurse, and they had a really bad, you know, she works in a hospital down on the border there in Texas. And they had a really bad situation. The administrator's son was riding a bicycle, lost control, fell in front of an SUV, and basically he died on the table. And it's like it took everybody, because everybody loves this administrator. I guess he's a great guy, and everybody has been, you know, even up to, you know, that was Tuesday, and even yesterday was still yanking on that one. But you know, of course, she shared with us too, and it's like, you know, we're all family, we're all there. We're there for you, and so it's a comforting thing. Know that if something we need to share with somebody, we can do it here, and we won't be mocked or jeered or whatever. Everyone, we love each other.
Mm. Lord Thaw says,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, man, for real. That's
Yeah.
Lord Thaw says, Vig and the Baron in 24. What? So I guess, if you referring to me, I had a big 1.75. Is that what it is? 7.5 liter, 1.75.
Yeah, 1.75 usually. Yep.
Yeah. It was, and I vodka Tito's from Austin. Drunk that shit, man, in the first 10, 15 minutes of my live stream yesterday. Drunk the whole bottle to the point nothing. So, and then finished up the live stream and did another one. And then I had a third live stream, but I couldn't even make it to I still got to play. I still got to apologize to Classic Comics for that, man. I got to talk to them.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll understand what we're going through on that one. But you did very good with on Ryan's there, so I was rather impressed. With what you've gone through and how you were presenting still, and very professional. And that's what I've come to know you as a professional. You too, Veg. You're a professional in your mysterious ways.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not lying, man. I was just hoping when you had your celebration, I was hoping to get into a little conspiracy stuff. I was getting my tin hat ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man, I fell asleep on that motherfucker, man.
Oh, no worries, man.
Yeah, I was. The thing is, we were talking about sports, right? And
yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so I had the mic right next to me, and I sat back on the couch, and I was listening to Matt talk, and that's all I remembered. And then all of a sudden, I wake up. And nobody's talking. I think it was the silence that woke me up because it was it was too silent. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm looking around. Where's Matt? Where's Vigilante? I was like, "What the fuck?" And the stream was over with. And I was like, "Yo, shit!" And I was like, "Oh, man." And then the last thing I remembered was, it was New Bomb Turk talking about 24 fell asleep. LOL. That's one of the last little things I seen on the bottom.
You actually
did. Be honest, Vig. Was he snoring?
No, I didn't know. I thought he, was either having technical issues or somewhere it left or whatever. But no worries about that. No worries, man. And I like Cinch Dildo's next comment. He says, "I refuse to be a part of any club that will have me as a member." I understand that.
He stole that from Groucho.
Yeah, I thought that was an old thing, but it's still
it's still good. Yeah, it's a great line.
Yeah, the Lord says, "Ouch." Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like I say, I had family members. I didn't know fucking anybody was watching, man. And then Mexican Iron Man hit me up, asked me if I was all right. He watched it. I was like, "Oh shit!" So yeah, I had to answer to a few folks, man. It's all right. I know.
I figured. I was going to give you a call, but I figured you're probably getting inundated with calls, so I thought, I'll talk to you today. But
it's all good.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it until I was just sitting down and just did a refresh, and I saw, he's on the he's doing live stream. Let's see what's going on here, and it's like, oh no. And I was on the phone actually, so I'm trying to type on the phone, and I forgot to put the somehow I missed the S in front of the HE, so I put he.
No, you good, man. Yeah, it's all right.
I hate typing on the damn phone.
Yeah, but shit, man. Rod Thunderheart, Jeebus, Sentient, you, Baron, and Vig, and quite a few other folks, man. Lovely Sherry, a lot of people, man. It's my boy Jesse from MB Geeks Let's Talks. I know he puts MB Geeks Bar and Grill. I don't know I don't know what that's about, but
I don't either.
Yeah, he's funny. That's my boy right there. He's a good guy, man. Just a lot of good people, man, in the chat, man. Jeebus, everybody just being real cool and supportive, man. And I appreciate that shit, man. The thing is, like I was telling my brother earlier, I said, man, the thing is, bro, when I come to talk, man, sometimes, it ain't always gonna be about pop culture, man, and comic books and SJWs and you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all that bullshit, man. I mean, that's the shit that really brought us all together. But there's
Yeah.
there's other shit that goes on, man. So every now and then the stream's gonna be about how I'm feeling or what's going on some shit that is beyond comic books and movies and all that other fun stuff, man. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those times, man. And at the same time, man, if you're just trying to be, like, I mean, I try to be, just being honest and being real with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hide the bad times, man. And I don't want to always make it seem like everything's always good either, man. It's like, every day's not a bad day, and I want to be able to show myself, when I'm down as well as when I'm up, man, and not be afraid, to just be me, man. I mean, fuck, we're all human, man. This whole thing, everything, man, is about us, man. Us being people, man. That's what it's always going to boil down to, from the time we were born to the time to the moment we die, man. It's always going to be about folks, man, and it's more important than whatever else is going on, man. It's us, man. It's like, in order to drive anything that we do, man, it takes people, man, to have the love, for us to communicate, have passion for comic books, movies, sit here and be cordial to talk to one another and be here, for each other, when shit's good and when shit's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this shit, it's like, man, I'm not afraid to show who the fuck I am, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is it. And I only got one life to live. It's like, it is what it is, man. And I don't want to be fake about this shit, man. So if I'm doing good, I'll let you know. If I'm doing bad, I'm doing good. And I mean, if I'm doing bad, I'll let you know. If I'm doing good, I'll let you know. And that's it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, but I always want to be upfront, and just let folks know how you feel. And I, and I also like to know how people are feeling, in the chat, man, because everybody, Vigilante, Baron, along with everybody else in the chat, man, everybody's important, man. Shit, this is what matters the most, man. It's like, shit, that we're here, man, and we're here for one another, and we're not afraid to say, hey, man, I'm here for you, or I love you, man. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I say I love, that's not a word I throw around, man. Like that's not a cool word. Like, yo, I love this car. I don't love no fucking car. I don't even drive, man. So I don't need so it's like, it's like I don't use that shit lightly to express, oh, I love my jacket, or I love these pair of shoes. I don't care about that kind of shit. I don't love bullshit. When I love something, it's real, man.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say I love you, it's because I really do, man. And if something was to happen to either one of y'all or anybody in the chat, I'd be fucking devastated. I'd be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, none of y'all can be replaced. Shit, another panelist can't sit here and just replace Vigilante or Baron, like if they're
replaced. I get your point. You're right.
And no, you can't, bro. And then and the subscriber can't be replaced. Like if something happens to you, hell, another subscriber would take your place. Nah, man.
I think we can replace Cinch and Ditto, but I get your point.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to add levity to it. I know what you mean.
You're
bro.
good.
I'm not trying to derail you, because you're right, man. You're right, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, I've seen it with other channels where they find out a YouTuber had passed, or even somebody in the chat, and they're absolutely broken up, the people that run the show, because it is very important.
Yeah, man. It's so yeah, man. I'm just yeah, man. From here on out, man, you guys will see me when I'm up, when I'm down, whatever the hell's going on, man. And it's life, man. And like I say, man, just sit here and just have a decent conversation like human beings about life and how we feeling about shit every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, man. And as friends and family, which is what we are, hell, shit, we should be able to do that shit, man, without saying, oh, well, they're not talking about comic books today. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
They're not, comic books ain't going nowhere, man. But us having a conversation every now and then about how we doing and what's going on, and something's on our mind. Shit. Sometimes that shit is important than what the fuck James Gunn just got through doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it is what it is, man. You know, and I say that with, you know, and all due love and respect to everybody, man. You know, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. I'm being real as shit. You know, it is what it is, man. So I just want to be upfront, man. Just say that. But I'm good. Yeah. What's up, Zax? What's up, boy?
Hell, Zax. Hell, Eastland. And yeah, I would miss you. I'm only fucking with you.
Nah, Eastland's awesome.
Would be buzzing.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man.
But
I agree with you, man. I agree. That's why, I mean, if there's anything I didn't agree, is I'm not as tied into the whole. I'm like almost at, you know, only the people matter, man. I could care. I mean, I do kind of want to talk about this James Gunn thing, only to say I don't trust him and don't like him.
Yeah,
but like outside of that, you know, I'm done with a lot of this media shit. Like, they can have it. Y'all destroy entertainment, enjoy. It's y'all. It's all y'all. And I'm not in the And I almost feel like, as much as I do, I love you guys, man. I love the community. I love the people. I do feel like this is somebody else's vision. Like, this whole community is not like.
What, you know,
it's go ahead.
You know, to be honest, man, you know, the thing that brought a lot of us together, man, is that we started figuring out that something was wrong. Period. You know, Ghostbusters 2016, and then it went beyond. Really, it went beyond entertainment. It went to the point where it's like schools started taking. You know, it's like government programs and schools are teachers and all this. It's like it's so much
the
shit
and all this stuff. It's like, oh, this is society.
You know, and the funny thing is, like, what's going on in pop culture is really affecting the fund the police, all this other shit. It's like all this shit.
It's all connected. It's
all connected in a very weird way, and it's like, so it's like, you know, with us, and you know, with us being here, and me kind of staying within my field house of what I know. I'm not no political guy or whatever, but to be honest, in the last fucking 5-6 years, holy shit, did I become a politician?
Right, you got to now.
You know, it's like, it's like, to figure out what the fuck's going on, you have to understand politics to see how the shit ESG, what the fuck's going on with this and that. I didn't know what the fuck none of this was, man, until the shit that I love started getting attacked. And then I start figuring out, okay, well, they started to teach this shit in school. And then the government's being involved. And then there's fucking government programs behind this shit. And I'm like, well, how deep does the rabbit hole go when it comes and we're just people that love to watch movies, collect comic books, you know, and
we just want our shows and I suck. And it turns out it's a fucking government conspiracy. And then when I bring up as a conspiracy, people look at me like I got a third head. It's like, motherfucker, you been paying attention to the past 2 or 3 years? Shit, you talk about the politics thing. I didn't, you know, because I've always been a casual comic book fan, but when I was reading comics and there was like weird shit being focused on, I didn't know that motherfucking the cousin of somebody who's in the Hillary Clinton camp was a high-ranking executive fucking Marvel. But there is a motherfucker whose cousin is a part of Hillary Clinton camp who was what's her name? Sana Amanat.
Oh,
her cousin works for Hillary Clinton.
I didn't know that, but damn, okay.
Yeah, straight up. Sana Amanat's cousin is Uma Aberdeen, and she's been a part of Clinton's foundation and a lot of Clinton stuff and a lot of Obama stuff. So when you say this shit is linked, it's directly linked. It's not like, you know what I mean, some wormhole and it's the lizard people. No. This person is related to that person who works with this and that. It's like that. It is that deep. And I didn't know that 5-6 years ago. I know it now. Right. And like I said, you didn't know it then until I just mentioned it. A lot of people probably don't know that. Some people do, but a lot of people probably don't know that. And so when you realize, like, oh no, this is a real deep rabbit hole. That was the thing that kind of brought. You're right when you say it's like, man, this is a societal thing. And I think that's why the you know.
Okay, go ahead.
We have like I think that's why a lot of us can get along, and the connection. I think that a lot of us have come across as really cool and really dope and really valuable, you know. But I think I got disillusioned personally, where it's just like, okay, I'm not going to keep giving these people power, and I don't know, you know, what is. To me, like I've said on my own show, if you watch the Vigilante Wins show or the VW Casuals, subscribe if you haven't. Which I know everyone actually in this chat that I can see is subscribed, but so as you know, move. But I've said, you know, I feel like this is like the fandom menace, and I hate to just use that term. And
no, I love the fandom menace. That's what I recognize myself as, because no matter what we call ourselves, the enemy is always going to say, "Oh, those fandom menace guys." So I don't give a fuck what name we call ourselves. Okay. That's not what we're recognized as. So it don't even fucking matter, man.
Well, so the thing is, that's the thing. That's why I don't consider myself fandom menace anymore. I definitely did at one point, but I don't, because I feel like this is really a marketing strategy for some YouTubers. And God bless those YouTubers make all the money on earth. And I'm not saying I'm not going to talk about these subjects. I'm still doing this. But I don't have that interest and that passion for this like that, because I know, as we said, this rabbit hole is so deep. What is me saying anything going to change? You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's changing anything is the lack of money, because they lost the China money, and there's not enough ESG money to fund everything yet. So now they have an issue with the and that's where, you know, I think there is some importance to this. But I do feel like, you know what? I'm not about to be outraged at everything. I'm not about to put my focus and heart like that in this. I know even you talk about politics. There's even politics internal to some of the things that go on in this community. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to focus on myself. Even, you know, on my own channel, basically taking off the rest of the year and going to start focusing on other things, because while I absolutely, like we were just talking about all this shit connected, all this this fucked up stuff, and sorry for all the cursing and stuff, because it's your channel, your platform, and I respect it, because you're trying to do big
cursing
things.
Even more, man.
I was going to say, have you listened to 24?
Yeah, I know. But you know, I feel bad about that sponsor. I'm like, man, I hope I didn't say anything that drove.
Nah, man. Because if anything, it might have been me drinking or smoking on the channel, but it don't even matter. I mean, damn. I mean, I'm good, man. I mean, it is what it is.
You know, to the point here, you know, I watched some of your old shows, Vig, and you know, I came across the one where we were talking about Mike Freeman and Amy Klobuchar.
Watch that old shit. Oh yeah, because that's been local to you.
Yeah, and it's like you were going through there. It's like, damn, does Vigilante live here? Has he ever lived here? Because you sound like someone who, you know, knows it all that we have in there. It's like, boy, you hitting points there, boy. Yeah, he's a
shit
drunk.
ton of research. That's it.
I know.
Research. That took a while. That video took weeks of researching and shit. Yeah. And that's why I don't make stuff like that, because of how long it took. I thank you for watching it, bro. I remember that. That was one of the first videos I did. I put a lot of work into it.
And I'm you know, the thing is, Vig, like, you know, I watch a lot of your other shit too, man. And you gotta understand, man. People are subscribed to you for a reason, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, man, you know, man.
Y'all so dope,
man. People fuck with you, dog, because you about something, man. And that's why I keep telling you, man, keep holding on, man, because even when you be ready to get this shit up, you know, people still waiting to see, you know, people still checking for you, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's what it's all about, man. People ready to see your next live stream, your next video. Shit. Hell, I'm still waiting to see that one review you're supposed to drop a long fucking time ago, man. I know. I'm just saying, man. But that's how much
I appreciate you remember that, because I was back.
On, man.
I should have finished it. I had
you know how many times I've asked you to, like, about that shit? Think about it.
I don't know, because
was it the Batman one?
I did a review on the Joker. And I recorded a lot of the audio, but it was on my old computer. And I don't know how to get everything off to restart it and redo it. You know what I mean? It was on my old computer and in Resolve. So I don't know how to get everything off. And
did you ever ask Rob?
Yeah, I didn't, but I don't know if Rob, because Rob, he edits with a different program. But I could look at
but see, the thing is, you talking about the transfer of about transferring it, man.
Yeah,
so,
I could probably transfer like some of the files, but I had it all edited out. If I got to go through the whole process of editing out these video clips and putting them back together, I'm not going to want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That timeline and that editing, like, is there a way of saving that? Maybe there is. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just, and I just need to look into it and put the work into looking into it. That's the thing. I don't care about content anymore. I mean, I do, but it's not that same passion. Like, I want to make content, man. I care more about making shit than like I said, I want to talk about the James Gunn thing because it's been interesting to me. This whole I'm a DC fan and everything, and there's stuff that I have a vague interest in. The game stuff I have a vague interest in, and I still like some of the sports, especially the combat
I'll tell you
sports.
I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and get into that, and
I'm rambling, man.
No, you good. No. What it is since you're talking about the sports stuff, the game stuff, and James Gunn, and the thing is, it's being honest, there's really a few things that really interest Vigilante. Like he sits there, he thinks about it, and he'll let you know, hey, I'm he might chime in, but whether he's interested or not, that's a whole nother story. So
let me find that James.
It's interesting. I'm saying this with respect. I'm just saying, like, because you just told everybody, like, yo, you're not really feeling a lot of this shit, but you want to talk about this, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's because I really want to hear, because I really want to hear what you and Baron got to say about this.
I got it all loaded up,
and before we actually, I want to tell Eastland Burkholder, thank you, sweetie. I want to let you know I'm good. I'm not. I don't have no hangover. I had a little headache, but I drank a lot of water. Made sure I ate, enough to where it's like I didn't, I wasn't throwing up or nothing like that. I was good, and then I just been in the restroom, I guess peeing it all out. So that's basically what my morning, was about and last night. But I'm good. I'm not like right now. I have no headaches. I'm not feeling fucked up. Nothing. I'm good. So, but I want to tell you, thank you, for asking and out of care and concern. I appreciate you and thank you. That's fucking awesome. So I appreciate you. And I've heard playing music hard like a guy. I must write like a guy. But
I hope go ahead.
Brother, go for it.
No, I just wanted to say, I hope I clarify, like why I feel like, because it's just I do still obviously still an agenda, but I just feel like I feel like honestly a lot of this, and I've said it, I feel like I'm a part of the agenda sometimes, man. I feel like that's the plan. I definitely think it was with that fucking Kevin Smith, and probably even the Frost, even though it backfired. And certain stories, it just feels like, I just feel like a cog in another machine. That's not the plan. But I love you guys, man. You guys are dope.
Thank
People
you,
that I've met,
man, love you too, man.
In this process is dope. But I'm not sure I believe in the cause as it's being presented, and I have my own way of kind of.
Well, the thing is, I guess with me, and I'm just and if you want to really know, like at this point, the reason why I'm here now. Is of course, I love talking about comic books and movies and video games and cartoons and shit. And you got all that good stuff.
That collection, man.
And exactly. Incredible. But the thing is I have to talk about this shit in the past tense. There's a problem, man. Because I own over 10,000 movies. I own thousands of comic books. But the thing is, I have to watch the old shit and I have to collect the old shit. And that's the problem. So the thing is, my love for everything is big. But then when it comes to me enjoying it, like right now, it's like I can't enjoy it in real time with new shit. And so it's a problem. So if all I can talk about is old JSA comics, old this and that, Silver Age, Golden Age, Bronze Age comics, Copper Age comics. Why the fuck can't I talk about the shit that just came out last week? But see, so the thing is,
that's that. I understand that.
So it's like, so basically it's like, I'm not a guy that just because it's a new comic, I'm I hate new stuff and I don't want to hear about it. No, that's not what the issue is. I love new shit. But the thing is, everything's coming out fucked up with this new age agenda shit. Like this all this shit that I had to learn about politics and figure out what the fuck was what, because everything's getting burnt to the ground. So it's like, now it's like, I love, it's like when I talk about what I love, I talk about the love of the old shit that I used to, that I enjoy and, shit from the past. And then when I have to sit there and look at what's happening right now in real time, with the current state of what the fuck everything is in. When I have to speak about that, that's when you hear the disdain and I'm just like, what the fuck is this and what's going on? This is getting rebooted. This motherfucker's getting gender swapped. This motherfucker's getting race swapped. And it's like, so it's like, so it's like, if I love something, I love something old. If I have to speak about what's going on right now, and it's like, I'm just being real to what I'm seeing. I'm just reacting and speaking out. And yeah, I mean, I don't have 200,000, 500,000, 1 million subscribers, Well, fuck, man, I can't sit here and not say shit and just and look at what the fuck I love get burnt to the ground and just be chilling. Because at that point, then I'd be fake, because all I'd be talking about is all this old shit. I already collected this. Everybody already read this. Some people can buy it, some people can't. It is what it is. But it's like, damn, what about the shit that we can all go and enjoy right now that's on TV? We can't do that shit, man, without being divided, man. So, so it's fucked up. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this shit and I can't love Star Wars the way I used to. I can't love Indiana Jones because they're about to fuck him over. And they lying, saying, "Oh well, nah, Indy's gonna be around for." Well, no, he's not.
So that's why I can't even focus on that.
So right now it's a game between the fucking studios and the consumers, man, and they'll try to lie to us in order to get us in to watch the fucking movie for the first week or two, because that's where they make the bulk of the money. So they'll fuck around, lie to us. And then we'll get another Last Jedi fucking situation, man. And then everybody's fucking ranting and raving and pissed off. And it's like, dude, I love all this shit, but the current state of what it is fucked up. And no, I don't have to watch it. But you know what, man? I can't sit here and stay quiet neither. And the thing is, I'm on YouTube because of movies, comic books, and all this other shit. Dog, what else? Look, if I don't talk about this shit, what the fuck else am I going to talk about? I don't care about nothing else, man.
I respect that, man.
So it's like what brought me here, the shit that I love that brought me here, had me realizing, hey, man, there's something else going on, and it's hard for me to enjoy it. That it got me here to begin with. I can't, it's hard for me to enjoy it the way I used to. I have to enjoy it all the way up to a certain point. And it's like, dog, I'm kind of tired of that shit. But then, even though I'm just one guy with just over 1,000 subs, 930 something videos, whatever, man, dude, I just can't sit there and just start making all these happy videos about, 1970s Green Lantern and, so, all this other shit. Because, dog, I love that shit. I'll show it off because I own it. But that's not how I feel, man, because I'd be fucking lying at that point. I'm pretty pissed because of how shit's going down right now, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just what I'm at. Because it was because of the love of this shit that got me here to begin with. But then once I get here, I see that, somebody just kicked in my fucking front door and took a shit right here in my living room.
Well, don't invite Amber Turd over.
But
but my whole thing is, dog, do I sit there and be like, oh, it's okay, they'll come back and clean it up later, or do I just jump up and fucking do something, say something, man? And I'm jumping up and I'm saying something, and whether what I say means something or my shit, gets lost in the wind, then so be it, man. But at least I get that shit off my chest, and I just didn't sit there and just watched it happen and just turn the because dog, you got a lot of YouTubers, man. They'll sit there and they collect comics like me, talk about all this pop culture shit, and then when they see shit get real fucked in comic books and movies, they don't acknowledge it and they're okay with it, and it'll get better. We could watch Boba Fett still, and like we didn't see the fucking galaxy's fucking badass bounty hunter go boom 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 boom, that bullshit. Like he's a fucking, like, what the fuck is this, man? And what are they doing? And then the thing is, we sitting here and we watching it, and we trying to figure out what the fuck's going on too, man. It's not, dude.
That shit is fake. Because that's what really started this. There was so many YouTubers doing that shit, and that was a weird time, man. I do remember when that was it, or I hadn't found people, and you look into the content. And it's like, man, something's wrong with this, man. I remember reading a fucking Batman comic that had BLM in it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's 2018. I had no clue what was going on. And everyone, isn't this so great? I'm like, no, this is stupid. What is this? What is this? And so that I definitely agree. That is fake. And that I'm not going to do. Everything's just great because I just like comics and I just like the entertainment. That is fake. But yeah, where I'm at, I'm just in a place where I'm like, I'm not sure if this is. It's like I'm not even sure. I like streaming a lot. I like talking to you guys. I like talking to you guys on the panel. I like talking to you guys in the chat. But I don't necessarily like talk about these subjects like all the time, every time. Right. And I got burnt out on it, and I feel but I get it, man, because it's like if you're gonna. I think what it is I let and maybe, to use your analogy, I just moved out the house. I just said, all right, I'm not coming to this house. Crazy motherfuckers coming in taking shits. I'm just move out the house, went to a nice little neighborhood and just start doing something else. Because I'm just like, okay, because the neighborhood entertainment is like fucking East LA. I'm not going to live there no more, man, because they done tore it up and tore this shit down. I'm moving to the burbs, man. That's my knowledge. That same thing. You just said, "Fuck it," I'm gonna just grab the gauge and just start letting motherfuckers have it.
Yeah, man. I'm ready. Yeah. It's get the fuck off my lawn type shit.
It's action. Yeah, you about that?
And
I respect that.
And what's important is, we might be in the whole scheme of things small little voices, but the more the small little voices, it's just like the drip. Every time there's more drips that comes in there, the more it fills up the bucket, and after a while, it gets noticed.
Yeah.
So even the little voices have a big impact. Sometimes it just might be someone that comes across, listens to a video, it's like, whoa, like 24 did with me, and I mean, I went out. That's why I don't call myself a pulp culture guy, because I've been out of it for so long for many reasons. I was busy raising kid and divorce and trying to get ahead, didn't have the money, and a lot of the stuff was going south. It's like, this isn't my stuff. This isn't what I like. This isn't what I enjoy. And then coming to YouTube and finding out that, there's others that have that same feeling about what's going on. And it's like, okay. And not only that, finding out that most of the people are pretty dang cool, and
that was cool. Find out how cool everyone is.
Yeah,
right. And building these friendships that we have, bigger family, everything. And I know I appreciate all you guys. I told 24 before, but this is like my therapy. This is my therapy here. It helps me get through dealing with what's going on, along with other people I do stuff with, like Pacific 414 and Cash Money and Gary Keith, and going over to King Dolphin, even though we don't normally talk about the pop. It's usually just more loose and free talk and nothing hating about content, which is great. Just sitting around just BSing, but all that stuff takes it helps the old soul out a little bit. And it's nice to be with people, even though we have different backgrounds, different likes. We all identify it, even if it's something that we don't like. Like, I'm not a Power Ranger guy, but I'll be alongside someone who and helping them fight as if they, if it's being torn down and destroyed.
Right.
It's like it doesn't matter whether I like it or not, but someone else does. It's part of the whole thing. We got to stand unified. One of the things is when I was listening to a podcast, a YouTube thing here, when the He-Man came out, and the one guy in there said, "I don't care. I don't like He-Man, so I don't really care about it all." It's like that's the wrong attitude. Even if you don't like it, you help fight the people that you're with.
It's funny you say that. That's kind of like how I am with like Doctor Who. Like, it's funny. I didn't grow up on Doctor Who. Really don't. I really need to learn a lot more about it. But I have a few seasons. The reason why I didn't, I'm for some reason I just can't just pick up season 17 and just start watching the shit. I'm not that kind of guy. I just don't jump in the middle of whatever the fuck and try to figure it out from there. So if I'm not watching it from the beginning, you can skip me because I need to know how the fuck this shit started and how I got to the point to where it's at. I don't start in the middle of nothing, and then I have to figure out, go backwards and forwards between. Let me catch up on these other seasons and let me see what happened after this. Fuck all that. So I start from the beginning, work my way on through, and that's how I watch shit. And Doctor Who, over 50 years, or so. Yeah. It's like, man, there's a lot of shit there. I even own a book of every character that is in Doctor Who. I own it's a big hardcover book. I own it. I haven't cracked not one page because I don't know where none of that shit's coming from. But the thing is I would like to know. I would like to see what's going on. But then what happened the last 3 years or so? Jodie Whittaker came and that shit turned to shit. So, like I say, man, another casualty. And just because I didn't grow up on it, never watched the episode, it doesn't mean like it's shit. If it ran for 50 years, somebody was watching that shit. So the thing is, now that I'm older, and I can sit here and I can look back and I say, you know what? I really want to give this a try. I just don't want to start in the middle of this whole Doctor Who shit. Let me try to get to and then I started figuring out, okay, well, to watch it from the beginning might be difficult because a bunch of shit got thrown out and people lost. It's like there's a whole dirty history with Doctor Who, as far as the BBC keeping fucking reels and all this other shit. So I haven't watched not one episode, and I know so much about this shit already. So, but the thing is, the same way comic books and Star Wars and Star Trek, other shit that I do like, got attacked. Doctor Who got attacked too. Yeah. So it's like shit, and even though I don't watch Doctor Who, I own some seasons, and I have that book, But at the same time, we're all kind of like brothers at arms, and just because I like something that you didn't like, or you like something that I didn't like, or I'd never heard about or whatever, doesn't mean that hell we're not all in the same boat because we're still fighting the same corporated bullshit that's sitting there trying to destroy all of it, whether it's Doctor Who, Star Trek, or comic books or whatever the fuck, man. Exactly. So I would sit there and stick up for somebody that I would sit there and stick up for somebody that would watch Doctor Who and be like, hey, I understand where you're coming from.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
And that's what's important. That's where we come together. That's and we should. Oh, it's time for me to be professional now. I like that. Just a second. Let me get over to that page here. So, Vigilante wanted to know more about James Gunn. This has been brought up. This is from We Got This Covered. Byline by David James. This was on July 7th. Actually, this is an old one. So,
this talk has been going on for a while about James Gunn. What is he going to do? What is his new role? Does he have a new role over at DC? So there's been a lot of speculation for a long time. So, I mean, the most recent rumor is that he's the new Kevin Feige.
Yeah. Do I got the wrong one there? 24.
Yeah. That's we got this covered.
Okay.
I don't. That's
Okay,
yeah.
let me
don't-
stop that one out there.
They're not a really reliable platform.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these platforms aren't right,
So,
but like
let
at
me
least
take a
something like
look
Deadline is at least
here.
industry.
Let me take here. James Gunn. Let's see. Collider. Do you like Collider?
Not really, but they're better.
Yeah, I got one
wait,
from
but-
the Sticks.
What about the one I sent you?
It didn't have a link, so I was having to. Try to hunt
when
it
you
down.
sent it, it didn't have links.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, Bleeding Fool. Okay, let's see if I can.
Is there a
try
Bleeding Fool link?
me-
I didn't know it was.
No, there's no link, but I can. Let me give it a
I'll
try
get you-
here
maybe
again.
try
Yeah. All you gotta do is Bleeding Fool, and then
Okay, let me see if this works here on my search.
That's
'cause
probably the best way.
it's supposed to be the
Kinda,
first article.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the first article. It's the last article, that they had just
Yeah.
most
I
recent
see
one.
what it does. It's not letting me put the whole thing. So, Bleeding.
Eastland Brook
Okay.
article
To
that
kind of
said,
vet, like,
oh my bad. Nah,
No,
I
you
was
go
just
ahead.
looking at something.
read the chat.
Eastland's funny.
Okay, here we go. I got Bleeding Fool. Let's see if I can find this one in here. So I'm going into Bleeding Fool.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it finally. So let me get this shared here. My apologies to everybody for my unprofessionalism. I
No,
know
you're good.
I know.
Eastland Vertical that said it's hard to imagine 24/7 or a vigilante as a redheaded, pale white guy.
Yeah, they were talking about
And-
that earlier.
And then said also race and gender swap Baron with an Asian lady.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Ooh,
Oh shit.
now you're talking my language.
Attica.
Right.
Attica.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I got it here now.
All right.
Yeah, for some reason those links were coming through, so I was having to do it the hard way, and I did it wrong. But I got it now.
Ooh,
We
it works.
realize and we can see entertainment being made, and they're not trying to be entertaining for viewers. Yeah, of course, Eastland. I definitely agree with that. Shit, it was Matt. Well, you guys are killing it, man. Damn.
Yeah.
They in the chat. You guys are funny. Here we go. Add stream.
Funnier than me, that's for sure. Okay, here we go. So, this is, of course, from Bleeding Fool by line Jameson Ashley. James Gunn explains which DC properties are priority for Warner Brothers. So, for better or for worse, the plans for the future of the DCU are changing dramatically with the new leadership taking the reins. It was recently revealed that James Gunn and Peter Safran would be stepping up to serve as co-CEOs of DC Studios. There have already been a lot of major updates to recently come out of this change, such as the announcement that Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 has been flushed. They must have really hated that other script she came out with. There were also rumors that Black Adam 2 won't be moving forward as well, which may put a swift end to the return of Henry Cavill's Superman just as quickly as he reappeared. And there's a nice Batman Beyond looking there.
Yeah, that's some good shit, man.
MovieWeb noticed that Gunn later came out on Twitter and said that while some of the recent rumors are true, others are not, though he is not clarifying exactly what's what, which was just good, really, in some ways. Meanwhile, the rumor mill continues to churn out more bits of information concerning the future slate of the DCU. The latest rumor bombshell is that a solo Batman film starring Michael Keaton that had been secretly planned has now been nixed as well. That movie, penned by the Flash writer Christina Hodson, would have been the long-awaited Batman Beyond film. Officially, a Batman Beyond movie was never announced, but it's long been clear that it's something fans have been wanting. It's true, I've been too. Even before it was announced that Keaton would reprise his role as Batman for The Flash and the canceled Batgirl, there had been many pushes from fan campaigns for a live-action Batman Beyond adaptation to be developed. The idea was that Keaton would return as an older Bruce Wayne to serve as mentor for a new Batman, which was the plot of the original animated series. And there's a nice one there that James Gunn did. Superman premiered 44 years ago today. I don't know what day that was. December 10th. Yep.
Oh, man.
This year.
That's yesterday.
Yeah. James Gunn also posted on Twitter a commemoration of the Superman movie from Richard Donner and starring Christopher Reeves, which debuted 44 years ago. The new co-head of DC Studios was then asked by a fan if we're going to see a Superman or Gunn's response was, yes, of course. Superman is a huge priority, if not the biggest priority. I think we kind of knew that. That's what they're kind of pushing that. He also stated that Green Lantern content was important, though most likely not with Ryan Reynolds involved. This falls in line with statements made by CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, that Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are the top priorities of the company. So keep in mind, when you see articles talking about canceling projects and firing actors, no matter what happens, those particular characters are going to be the focus going forward. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, does not seem to be as big priority, or at least not the version Patty Jenkins was writing. Well, after 84, I'm not surprised. Deadline already posted an article negating a lot of speculation, but we also learned that the director turned in her script treatment to the studios and was given notes to which she declined to take and left the project. Everything else is rumor. That is not good. As for Patty Jenkins' future, that's unknowable. This is the fourth project that she has either walked away from or has been taken off the schedule. After the success of her award-winning first film, Monster, and a bunch of television work, Jenkins was hired to make Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah,
but she ended up leaving the project, saying she wasn't the right person to make the film that Marvel wanted.
So no one was the right person for that film. That was a disaster to me.
But you know what? To be honest, no. Oh. You know,
I'm holding.
Go ahead.
Now, see, the thing with this whole James Gunn thing is, you know, if you've heard what actually happened, it's Patty Jenkins had like probably the last year and a half. She's supposed to have been working on this Wonder Woman script.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 days before he turned it into James Gunn, she kind of was tweeting, "Hey, finish up the script for Wonder Woman 3, da da da." That's when, if you look at my shits, I dropped a video saying, "Hey, there's a concern for Wonder Woman 3." I dropped a video, and that was on the thumbnail. Come to find out, is that her and Jeff Johns are writing the script for Wonder Woman 3. Them motherfuckers were the ones that wrote the script for Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah,
it was her and Jeff Johns.
Yep.
So how the fuck are you gonna get with Jeff Johns again to write Wonder Woman 3? And who the fuck would let you do it?
Right.
Who would let you do it? That's the thing. The reason why Wonder Woman 1 was so good is because Zack Snyder and other folks stepped in. If they didn't step in, they basically like took the movie away from her, let her shoot the shit. But you know, they were like, looking over her shoulder while she did the whole shit. Obviously, there was a reason for that, and that's how Wonder Woman #1 came out to be as good. Because if you'd have left it up to her to do her own version of Wonder Woman #1, it would have been more or less like Wonder Woman 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why Wonder Woman #1 was so good is because of all the other people that were involved in the project. Once you took all those other people out and you left her by herself, to her own devices, nigga, we got Wonder Woman 1984.
You know, I have a question on that. Who else was involved? Because I'm not a Patty Jenkins guy, right? But I always thought, Zack Snyder, he doesn't really have anything like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? In his own catalog,
Well, I mean, he helped write the script, man.
Did he? Because his scripts to me usually aren't as, and not that was perfect by any means, but it was a fun movie, and I'm like, you know, this is a better script than Batman versus Superman. How come? You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, it was Zach, and if I'm not mistaken, it was like 2 other guys. It was 3 guys that wrote the script.
Like there has to be someone that is neither Zack Snyder or Patty Jenkins who came up with the first Wonder Woman. That's what I've had in my own head, personally. I'm like, someone else had some impact because I'm like, well, what I just saw you do with Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman, if you could do this with Wonder Woman, why didn't you do this shit with Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman? And that's I'm saying as somebody who, as much as especially BVS, I'm not a big fan of, I still find redeeming qualities in both movies. You know what I mean? Because I'm a DC guy.
Right. You know, the actual Ultimate Director's Cut of BVS was a better movie. You know, when you actually put in, you know, and I'm not trying to say like, yo, it's the best, but it was an improvement than the theatrical version. Out. Right, because that's the reason why. In it. I'm saying, but that's you took the words right out of my mouth because it made sense once they put in the deleted scenes and you watched it. As a whole, you get to see, okay, this is how they got there. This is how, and it made sense. Look, have you ever watched? You ever watched Underworld, the first one?
Maybe once on TNT.
Okay, I
didn't really like the first Underworld.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you something. If you loved Underworld, you watch the theatrical version.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense because just to, you know, she look, when the movie starts, she jumps off like a rooftop or some shit. She lands on the ground, and when she lands, she starts walking. She goes into a fucking subway station and has a fucking shootout with some werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the movie starts.
I do remember that. I remember that scene because I was right. Her shooting to the ground.
She lands because she sees some werewolves and she jumps off the fucking rooftop. She lands in a real cool fucking motion. She stands up, walks off, follows them into the fucking train station, and that's when they have the fucking shootout and they're fucking fighting in the train station. But the thing is she was by herself when the movie started, but by the time she got into in the train station, she had like 3 other dudes with her. And I'm like, well, how the fuck did they get there? She was by herself the whole time. But then when they showed the director's cut, when she jumped off the rooftop, them motherfuckers jumped off the rooftop too. And I was like, oh, they was with her the whole time. The thing is, man, the extra shits that they took out didn't explain how the fuck they was in the train station when she followed, when they showed her by herself the whole time. And then she gets in the train station, goes off into a fucking gunfight, and she has 2 vampire motherfuckers with her helping her out. And I'm like, where the fuck they come from?
Well, see, that's poor editing, man. You got to edit it better so the story gets told so you're not confused. Mm-hmm. And that,
right.
I mean, that's his own thing. And I think that's been a thing. You have a lack of attention to detail from these execs and these companies, especially Warner Brothers, man. When it comes to this live action shit, they got lucky with the Nolan trilogy.
Right.
Because Christopher Nolan and all the people he worked with, and we've criticized that script. That script, there's a lot of dialogue. The dialogue don't make sense throughout that trilogy when you really think about it. But that's neither here nor there. He was able to create something very iconic visually and very iconic scenes and very he was able to do all the execs' job for them basically with those movies because of the way he works and the way he did everything. So they didn't have space to fuck those movies up in the way that they usually fuck things up. But I do feel like as much as I want to shit on Zack Snyder, I think the execs fucked up a lot of BVS. You know what I mean? And that's why we needed a director's cut in the first place because they didn't allow it to be. They should have split it in 2. When you really think about it, they should have split that shit into 2 movies, told the whole story, and made it a complete thing.
You know, the thing is, man, they think after Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
They interfered in every movie afterwards.
Yes,
to the point where that was the problem. Where he had to come with the director's cut for BVS, and then oh my goodness, Justice League. Wow,
the Snyder cut.
You know what, man? I love that motherfucker, man. You know, and it's. I was saying the other day that's the reason. Like yesterday, I was saying that's the reason why people like Ezra Miller. People hated him.
You're right. It is because of the Snyder cut.
People hated him. When you watch the Joss Whedon Justice League
God
dude,
damn, I didn't even make that
Ezra
connection.
Miller, dog, you just want to choke the fuck out of him, man. Like you can't. I hate that motherfucker, man. I don't give a fuck. Super speed of night. He
was annoying as shit in the first.
Yeah, he was, man.
Original cut.
But then it's like when you see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, dude, they took out all the annoying parts of the movie. They added in some shit that he was cool because he saved the old girl and was feeding puppies.
Oh, that first scene, his introduction scene was cool. His introduction scene was cool as fuck.
And the thing is, as you got to see him, like I said, they took the shit that made people annoyed of his fucking character because they wanted him to die in Joss Whedon's version, and then they were cheering for his ass in Zack Snyder's version towards the end when that motherfucker, when he was like talking to himself and he just fucking and he fucking like he ran so fast that he fucking turned the world back and then dude, that shit was powerful as fuck, dog. Yeah. People cheering like a motherfucker at that point, man.
And ironically enough, that was kind of a Superman reference.
Right.
Remember, the original Superman is the ending.
Yep. So right, exactly. You know, and so my whole point is, how do you turn something from because the Zack Snyder Justice League is basically a hell of a director's cut, like a super ultimate director's cut. Like, dude, you basically added a whole hour and a half to this fucking movie, and the whole dynamics of it all the way around, dude. I could sit there and watch that 3-4 hour fucking movie, and I could watch it, man. As soon as we don't do
like a season of television than it did because they cut it and they did that Snyder cut right after all the bullshit we went through. Right, Snyder cut actually does hit. I'm not a big Snyder guy, but I'm not gonna lie, the Snyder cut's pretty cool.
So you know, my whole thing is, you know, after the Snyder cut, you end up liking Ezra Miller, a lot more. But then that's before
he was more likable.
Yeah, of course. That's before you even heard about all that crazy shit. Because that shit, you know, you heard about that shit within this year. Yeah. But all last year, you know, Ezra Miller, like you looked at his character as Flash, you know, people love that motherfucker in Zack Snyder's movie. And then from there, you figure, well, you're getting more of that kind of
about the Flash movie before you started.
Right. Remember? So that's my whole point. It's like, people enjoyed it enough to where they were accepting of him to be the Flash for this new Flash movie. And all I keep hearing, and what I've heard lately in the last week, is they're comparing this Flash movie to Spider-Man No Way Home.
Because that's a smart comparison, because that's the movie it's most like.
You know, and it's just because of all the shit that they're gonna do. This thing is gonna be.
I've heard pretty much anyone who's ever played a DC character has been contacted in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That was the rumor I heard. Like pretty much anyone you could think of. So we'll see what comes up. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just
no. Actually, I was gonna say like this, like you know, they have like Adam West, Burt Ward, Linda Carter, Chris. He was like, you look, we're gonna see some shit when Flash is running through universes. He's going to be passing up through, you know, I can see him. I can just imagine he's going to be going through, you know, passing through multiverses, you know, to where he ends up wherever he ends up with Michael Keaton. And on his way, or maybe on his way back, you're going to see flashes of like fucking Christopher Reeve Superman doing some cool shit. And then you're going to see fucking Adam West and Burt Ward fucking.
Bro, that'd be cold.
The shit out of
that would be cold. I can't lie.
They're going to fuck around and see Wonder Woman picking up. Yeah, and then they're gonna run through and they're gonna see Wonder Woman pick up a Jeep, because I remember in one episode, like I got the whole fucking collection of Wonder Woman. She fucking, like, some people are trying to drive off and she picks up the car. Like I can see, like, you know, on some real super powered shit like that. Like you know, show a clip of all the heroes in their greatest fucking moment. You know what I'm saying? And as he's running through the fucking multiverses, like this shit's gonna be crazy. Like you're gonna see like properties that were done, like gone and forgotten. I remember that. Oh, that's cool. And people gonna be like, oh,
what they have? What's the shit? The hero where it had Shazam, but it wasn't Shazam. It was Great American Hero. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Oh yeah, that was yeah. That's Great.
Yeah, that's Great American Hero.
Yeah, that shit. Because that's them too. Because that was based on Shazam.
No, that was
no. That's the Greatest American Hero. That's totally
okay. I'm thinking of something different. My bad.
Yeah, that's completely different.
Yeah, they like they had a Shazam TV show back then, like in the 77, 78, right around there. They had one.
Okay.
You know, it was right around the time where Wonder Woman was out and the Hulk was out. they had the Shazam TV show. I have it on Blu-ray, and I own a copy of it on Blu-ray. And dog, it's actually the truer version of Captain Marvel Shazam than the movies we're watching. You know, the thing is, it's just a corny like kids TV show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it's like it's some cool shit just to watch. And you know, hey Billy, you know, next time, you know, you're not supposed to talk to strangers. You know, that kind of shit. So yeah, you know, it has like a little moral thing. Yeah, man. But you know, the thing is they're gonna be throwing a lot of shit in this movie, man. And by the time that Flash movie comes and goes, is when it's supposed to set off the actual the chain of events that's going to change up the DCU. So it's like it's funny because James Gunn is trying to write like 10 years of what's going to happen next, and it's going to be like a soft reboot of the DCEU or whatever. Now it's going to be called the DCU. So it's instead of being the DC Extended Universe, is going to be the DC Universe from now on.
Okay.
So it's the DCU from now on. They have a new logo that they fucked around and unveiled a few days ago, and so they have a 10-year plan, and that plan is to go to see civilizations that no one has seen before. Now I'm fucking around, but nah, but they have a 10-year plan, and they're supposed to be taking the best shit that has worked for DC, keeping that, and then getting rid of all the shit that hasn't worked. And the one thing I know they're going to keep for sure is Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, because that's James Gunn's personal babies. So if anybody's going to get chopped, it ain't going to be that little corner of shits over there.
Well, you know what's funny about that little corner? Like, the Suicide Squad movie was cool, but like, it wasn't financially successful, which you thought that, say what you will or won't about Zaslav, that seems to be his whole goals. Okay, we need properties to make money. We need everything to make money. We might give up the NBA if it costs too much money. Everything's about the money, which, could be good or bad. But my thoughts are like, James Gunn really hasn't made DC any money yet. He made Marvel a bunch of money. And then I'll just get it, into my big scare issue. And I'll start that with a question. We just talked about the Justice League. There were a million problems with the first cut of the Justice League. But if you list the top 5 of them, you get tone. That has to be the weird Joss Whedon tone, that Marvel tone almost. And Joss Whedon was kind of one of the thematic, the tone thematic drivers of the early MCU, and James Gunn, after the Guardians of the Galaxy came after that. And that's that same like high comedy focused, high, let's, make everything silly sort of tone. And a lot of people like Peacemaker, and that's cool. I've seen clips, and there's funny clips, but I don't want my whole universe to look like Peacemaker. And I feel like this is just not going to work again. This is just, they're going to turn it over to another creator who doesn't get these characters. Like, I don't feel like they found anyone close to what they think Kevin Feige is, or anyone close to the guy to be the one guy to lead it on. Remember, it was Jeff Johns at one point, and he knew nothing about movies. He still knows nothing about movies. He's a comic guy who's been in Hollywood not doing well. And then it ended up, guess what? Was it Walter Hamada for a little bit? And then, now it looks like it may be James Gunn. And it's like, Zack Snyder was the guy for a little bit, obviously. And then after that, maybe Walter Hamada. And now it looks like James Gunn. And all these guys, it's like, does anybody understand or care about the DC universe? Because that's how they got Marvel. That's what they made Marvel into such a cool universe, is being somewhat respectful and true to the lore initially, obviously. And true to the mythos of what these characters meant to people, and having some understanding on that. And it seems like am I just gonna get a bunch of snarky one-liners and Batman and Wonder Woman, and that's what I'm dealing with for 10 years? Because if so, I don't want that either. I don't want work, but I don't want that either.
Right.
So that's my fear of James Gunn. That's why I don't know if he's the guy, and I don't know if this is gonna work.
You know what I told folks before, in case y'all really want to know. You got to understand, when James Gunn first got John Cena as Peacemaker, John Cena was like, "Hey, James, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy the whole Peacemaker collection, comic book collection, so I can understand who the character is." James Gunn stopped him right then and there. He said, "Hey, man, no, you don't have to do that. We're just gonna create our own version of what the fuck Peacemaker is." So, as good as director and people love his fucking movies, the Peacemaker that everybody fucking loves, and I can't wait till season 2. That's not Peacemaker. That's not how he acts. He don't talk like that. He don't believe in that same bullshit, dude. And Vigilante is a fucking rip off of Deadpool. Vigilante act like that.
Yeah,
and I have the first appearance of his name is Adrian Chase, and his first appearance is the Teen Titans Annual #2. I own 2 copies in mint condition, and I've been owning it for decades, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I own this character. He's more like the Punisher. Then he doesn't crack jokes. He's not funny. He fuck all that. And he's a blonde haired white guy, so he doesn't have all that shit. Blonde haired white guy named Adrian Chase.
Oh, you mean that Vigilante? Okay.
Yeah. I'm from Peacemaker. So yeah, dude. The thing is, man, James Gunn. They might look like the character, but personality wise, what character acts like, and then the thing is,
he did that with
people say, well, how you know what he acts like, dude? If you ever read a comic book, when they have thought bubbles and all this other shit, is because you're reading their thoughts. You're looking into what the fuck these characters are thinking. So that's how like you can't portray Batman no other way and tell somebody that's a Batman lover, oh, Batman doesn't act like that. Bullshit. If you collect the books, you know what his motivations are, what he thinks, what drives him, what he loves, what he hates, all this shit. You read that shit every fucking issue. And then you got this fucking director that thinks he's smarter than everybody else, and he's gonna tell you, or not even that, he's gonna give you his version of the character, and it's nothing that you've read for the last 50 years or whatever the fuck. So what do you say then? Yeah, I mean, his movies look good, but is he going to stay true to the character? No, he's going to give you his version of what the fuck you've been looking at or what you've been reading for the last 50 years or 60 years or however long you've been fucking reading these characters. That's what you're getting with James Gunn.
So I do want to answer a comment, and that's what my exact fear is. He did that to Star-Lord. He does that to all his characters. I think he just goes in with the actor. He's like, you know what? Let me carry the character that fits this actor. He created a Star-Lord that fit Chris Pratt. He created a Peacemaker that fit John Cena. This is your comedy style. This is your acting style here. We're going to do that. And hey, it made for entertaining stuff. So he does have he understands how to entertain people clearly, but better than a lot of people. But it seems kind of like a better version of Taika Waititi. You know what I mean? Where he's just like, I just want to make something funny. He's a more talented Taika Waititi to me. And that's as I talk it out. Yeah. But I want to answer
you know what? That it's funny you say that. That's exactly what I said yesterday.
Really? Great minds think alike.
Hey, you can go back. You can go back and look at. Yeah, you can go back if you watch the whole thing. What I said was, when you look at Taika Waititi, he's a broke man's James Gunn, is what I said.
So you said the opposite inverted. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing.
But you're right.
You got guys that can because the thing is, everybody wants to Marvel-fy their fucking their So that's the thing. It's like, dude, you can't respect DC for being DC because DC wants to be like fucking Marvel. So what the fuck, man? It's like nobody's trying to fight for their own identity because they're trying to be like the next man. Because if his formula worked and it's doing good for him, hell, let's go ahead and bite on that dick and do the exact same thing. that.
Yeah, you're your own creature. DC is not Marvel. Marvel's not DC. They both have a different style to them. Yeah, they're superheroes, and that's about it. But be respectful to what the universe
What the core
is on
is.
that.
You know,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the crazy thing is, why the fuck are all of us watching these movies for the simple fact that the fact that we grew up and we loved them reading the comic books, or we loved them watching, them in the form of a cartoon or some shit. Dude, from that drives us to want to watch their movies, because you know what? The best thing, if you're a comic book lover, the thing that you hope to see is you love cartoons. You want to see the thing that you love so much come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
CIA.
I mean, what's the next best thing than for you reading a Batman comic than to fucking go to a theater to watch Batman come to fucking life, man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I wanted to answer something since your dildo said about fans. Most of the Marvel fans. What did he say? Most of the people that go to the theater to watch Marvel movies don't know shit about the canon, which to an extent is true. But I will say two things. One, you'll be surprised how many people do know shit about the canon. Like, this wasn't a Marvel movie. When I saw the Batman, there was a group of, they were younger guys, and they were talking hardcore canon shit about Batman right next to me, just randomly. So, like, when you talk about Batman, Spider-Man, the Avengers, X-Men, no, there's at least a quarter percent of that billion-dollar pie that came from hardcore fans strictly. Secondly, because they stayed with that canon, or at least somewhere close, or tried to craft it around its image, or for that early part of the MCU, early to the mid part of the MCU, even into the, whatever you want to call it, Infinity War Endgame, because they at least use that as a loose outline, they had something to go back with, a style guide, if you will. And now the style guide has gotten too ha or political, but there was a way of doing things, a framework of which they worked and made those movies, which I've been critical of, but a lot of them are fun, a lot of them are cool. And hell, I was just watching a fucking clip where they teased, I didn't realize they had teased Endgame in the first Avengers. They teased elements from Endgame in the first Avengers. Like, they did do some pretty smart writing things. This was, you know what I mean? It was well thought out. That's another element. They used that canon. They used that as a framework to come up with their own plan, and they had it well thought out, character progressions and things that they want to do with these characters. I don't think James Gunn's going to do that.
The bad thing about Marvel and DC, I'm going to tell y'all, the bad thing about both is that they're basing their universes on the last 10, 12 years of their comic book existence.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's where it's all fucked up. They're both basing their movie universes on the last 10 to 12 years of their comic book of the last 10, 12 years of comic books. So they're taking the last 10, 12 years of stories, and that's all the shit that we're seeing in the theaters.
Riri Williams,
dude, and I'm gonna tell everybody, in case you haven't really thought about it, all the real shit that's true and near and dear to real comic book is the shit that happened back from like the 70s, 80s. You know what I'm saying? It's like
into the early 90s.
Like, dude, if you're talking about, let's say, comic book crossovers, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Secret Wars. I mean, the first real big.
They're both in the 80s, right?
The first the first thing that we've ever seen people come together in Marvel. If anybody knows, and you're a true comic book collector, it's the Contest of Champions. There was a comic book called The Contest of Champions. You guys look it up. That's the first time a group of heroes got put together to deal with a fucking situation. Look it up, you guys. You have your phones. Look up the contest, Marvel, The Contest of Champions. That's the first time the fucking heroes got together to deal with some shit. They should have started there and worked their way up. And you know what? we wouldn't have gotten the Civil War because they still would have been dealing with some other shit. And then all the things that made, everything that made Marvel special is all the shit we've been reading about for the last fucking 40, 50 years. They should have started it, and that way everything could have progressed. Dude, Marvel has a lot more stories now. They have to.
They fucked up their ability to tell a lot of those stories.
Right,
that's Civil War shit. I said back then, man.
Because now they're telling their stories out of place,
out of sequence, out of order.
That's kept up with all of that chronologically, knows. And the thing is, just because there's, I guess, in the majority of people that watch movies, there's a few of us that know better, and we're the ones that know the difference. So, go for it, brother.
No, man, I just wanted to piggyback on that Civil War point. I had said, like, you're doing Civil War way too early for it to really have its impact. That's why I think Civil War to me was when stuff started to get off the rails.
And man, you know the funny thing, the Civil War consisted of every character in the Marvel universe.
Yes, every single one. And they
so how the fuck
introduce Spider-Man and Black Panther in it?
Dude, the fucking story started off with the X-Men. So the thing is, how can you tell a story when you have half of the participants there? And the thing is, if to tell the whole full story took damn near the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, how the fuck can you tell that story with just 12 people?
12
to 14 people. Yeah, you had like 6-7 people on each side. How the fuck can you tell a story with 6-7 people with the total of 12 to 14 people when it took hundreds of characters to tell this story?
You can't. That's how.
Wow, because they fucked up. They didn't build up to it. It's like they took on more than they can chew, and they gave it to us with like not even a quarter of what it took to tell it, man.
I guess this is also part of my argument. The closer you go to canon, the better you are, because you already have a framework of what works for these characters. You already know how it works for these characters because here it is. So even if the normies don't know, they'll get a better product because normies ain't paying attention. That's why they're switching bobs around at Disney. You know what I mean? The normies are done now. The normies are watching fucking Twitch. They're not watching you guys anymore. And did you know? I didn't know this. You know, I'll ask this in a different way. Maybe you guys know the answer, but how many projects since Endgame do you think Marvel has done? And how many projects in Endgame included back do you think they did? So what's your guess on both of those numbers, Baron? Because I feel like
Wait. I have no idea.
No, wait. No, you gotta ask me the question probably in a different way.
I'll re-ask in a smooth way. Okay, how many movies and projects? So that includes anything. You know what? That may not be a. You saying after Endgame? How many projects did Disney or Marvel do? And before Endgame? So both. Like, what do you think the number is for each? Like Endgame back, and then after Endgame.
Well, you know what? To be honest, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 20 something up to Endgame. 23. 23. Yeah, exactly. And then from what I've and if I'm not mistaken, I think after Endgame, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a shitload more after that.
Yeah, it's been about 15 to 19.
Right, and so basically one. You gotta include the one. So basically, one phase dropped almost as much shit as what it took to build up the cinematic universe before Phase 4 started.
Yes. Now I will say this: that's not entirely accurate because I'm not including the Netflix stuff. So I don't know what you want to do with that Netflix stuff. Did it happen? Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, if Disney Plus is going to take the Netflix stuff and show it off on their fucking channel, but act like they don't want to acknowledge their canon, fuck off.
They actually kind of have to legally because Netflix owns rights to that version of Daredevil and that version of Jessica Jones and that version of I don't know if it's Netflix or somebody else owns rights. And you know Disney's stingy. They ain't trying to give you that little piece. They don't want to pay what they owe, so they gonna change it just to not pay whoever the fuck it is who owns part of the rights. because that's how Disney gets down. But yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. And this has only been what 4 or 5 years since Endgame. When was that? 2018, 2019?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
like almost 3. About 3. Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah, 3, 4. Yeah.
So normies are burnt out. See, even the sex bots are mad.
Oh shit! Let me. I appreciate
Even
you,
the sex
boy.
bots.
Yeah, I was. Hold this, go.
But I think normies don't want to watch this shit anymore. I think they're done. I think they're done. They burnt out. They lost. They've imploded. So I mean that's my thought. 'Cause I think everybody is burnt out with Marvel. Even for that Wakanda Forever, that was a big criticism. That was my brother's criticism. I'm just tired.
You know the thing with Marvel is now they're being. That's the thing too, man. It's like their formula is predictable now, man. And people, it's like rinse, dry, repeat type shits. It's like, dude, it's like the thing is, you want to know what really fucked Marvel is when they lost James Gunn and the Russo took off. So basically, they used up the Russos the same way they used Jon Favreau. So Jon Favreau, to be honest, he's the guy that started off the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man.
Yep.
So
exactly.
So they used them up, kicked them to the curb,
chew them up, spit them out,
and then Star Wars picked them up. Then so basically, you got Kevin Feige coming in. He took over Jon Favreau's place because he was basically the start of the shit. And then he does his thing, and he ends up looks like he actually fell. It looks like Marvel, the MCU fell out with the Russo brothers because they were real vocal to Black Widow.
Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. The way Disney was kind of treating her. They were like,
Did they direct that?
Yeah, they were like, yo, if when she tried to sue him. And then and the Russo brothers like, yo, if they'll fuck around and do Scarlett Johansson like that, they'll do any one of us like that.
Oh yeah.
So he spoke against Marvel on behalf of Scarlett Johansson, and to be honest, that's why you didn't see him come back. Because look, they dropped Endgame and all that shit. What would stop them? What would prevent them to continue working with Marvel? Nothing. It looks like they disagreed with how the company was treating
direction
folks.
Yeah,
all that shit, and then they took off. And then by the time they took off, they were like, "Well, for Phase 4, we're gonna lean back on James Gunn." But then he got caught on Twitter with the fucked up tweets, and they fired his monkey ass. Yup. And then so they fired him, and then that's when DC gave him a chance.
Fan James Gunn.
Yeah, so that's when Marvel, and that was Alan Horn. Alan Horn fired James Gunn, and then that's when DC scooped them up for the Suicide Squad, and then Marvel like, no, Alan Horn left. They brought back James Gunn, and then he did the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But then James Gunn was supposed to be the guy running Phase 4, but then when he got fired, Phase 4 went to shit, and then that's when you start with WandaVision, and then Loki, and then Roger, and all the other bullshit that you've seen from there, and then that's and then everything kind of the story writes itself because we already know what happened.
This is a bloody soap opera,
man.
Man, you know what? How different would Phase 4 have been if they had got the WandaVision, No Way Home to Multiverse of Madness, right? All the characters involved.
Yeah, you know what? If they would have stayed true to the original story, we would have gotten a completely different WandaVision, Spider-Man, No Way Home, and Doctor Strange, because that was supposed to have been a fucking trilogy right there.
And we could have maybe introduced the X-Men off the strength of that. And they could have just introduced them fully formed. We didn't have to, because you have a multiverse. So you could just have Hugh Jackman just walk through as Hugh Jackman Wolverine and canonize everything we just saw from them the past 20 years. You didn't have to do no work. And you fucking set it up in your fucking WandaVision when you had the motherfucker show up only to be Ralph Boner or some bullshit. It's like on some, you had everything in your hands to make billions of dollars and you wasted it on a joke in a show that everyone forgot. It's mind-numbing to me.
I know, and then they wasted it on an agenda.
Oh no, since you did, I'm well aware of what WandaVision sacrificed. She sacrificed the rest of the fucking MCU. That's what she sacrificed. She sacrificed it to Molech and Baal because no one got any value from that. She destroyed the entire rest of the MCU for shits. No, she didn't even sacrifice to them. She sacrificed it to Rainbow Dildo Monkey. She sacrificed the entire MCU to the woke god of nothingness for nothing. Can you tell I'm still mad about that? That was my real jumping off point. I'm like, fuck the MCU after that. Fuck it with a red.
I you know, to be honest, the way WandaVision kicked off, you know, people were bored for the first few episodes, but then by the time it ended, holy shit.
First couple episodes were great, and then the rest of it was trash. And it was like they could have made it so out cold, and they didn't because they didn't want to take any action from a woman or from a man. And it's like pieces of shit.
Yeah, it was
fuck you.
Yeah, it was on some shit. Yeah.
There's no greedy exec to say, wait a second, no, the X-Men make money. We need the X-Men. Fuck your agenda. There's no coked up exec to say, wait, what did you say? No, you're gonna fuck up our money doing that. There's no one in the building to say, wait, is there a way to agenda and get money? Because there was a way of doing it. And I'm sorry for your homie.
No. You know, to be honest, the way the X-Men is structured, you really didn't have to put you didn't have to put any agenda before anything. They were already
naturally diverse.
The versatile, it's like, they already had the diversity. Though, dude, the X-Men. See, that's what made the X-Men special, and only a person that read the comic books and understand what all the different groups in the X-Men meant, you would actually get and understand that, hey, the X-Men is basically like an amalgamation of everybody. It's just a different, it's a different what they call it, allegory, or like just a different version of what you see in society now. They're just different, they just portray. But the thing is, they represent the same shit. You got people of different colors and genders and all kinds of shit. Everybody don't look the same. You got people that are Southern. You got like Southern Belle like Rogue. You got a fucking Louisiana type motherfucker like Gambit. Yeah, and then you cover all different kind of bases. Everybody's not white. Everybody's not black. You have Asian.
Storm.
Dog, of course, she's from Africa. Then you have Bishop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then you had, different. You had Beast and Nightcrawler and just all kind of real different. A motherfucker that's made out of metal. Dude, come on, man. You got all. And then the thing is, they wanted to be reflective of today. Well, instead of a person just being different with mutant powers, they got to be transgender. They have to be by this. And you got all this bullshit. Like, no, that's not you. The thing is, you're taking the uniqueness of what makes the X-Men different, and you trying to apply it in real life. And you trying to say, well, these people that are different, and the way they're different from other folks in society, blah blah blah. You try to blend that shit in, real life shit with a superhero factor, and it's like, well. Here we go, and that's not how the X-Men work. That's why nobody don't buy into that shit now, because that's what X-Men is all about at this point, doing stupid shit like that, and that's what Victoria Alonso and fucking Kevin Feige trying to push when the new X-Men come too.
And the mutants, they're not X-Men, they're X-people. Cincha Dildo probably is dead on with his point. He said all the producers that can say stop fucking up my money have #MeToo skeletons in their closet or worse.
Oh yeah.
And I definitely think that's a huge part of it. It's like, are you sure you really want that money, or do you want everyone to know what you did last summer? It's like, I guess, woke, pride. And that's it. They walk off.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's
Well,
yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, hopefully, I don't sing. You ain't trying to sound like I'm coming off on a no rant. I'm just being fucking real as fuck, man. Like the way I tell it is, that's how I feel. That's how I look at the shit, man. It's just right there. It's in your face, man. It's like, dude, I know exactly what the fuck I'm looking at. And the thing is, they're gonna change it again to their vision, and then be like, hey guys, this is the X-Men. And then they're gonna try to see how many of us are gonna fucking try to jump on that that tip, and you're gonna be surprised, man. Even if it's bad, you'll have people that'll want to watch it just to see, just to not to support it, but just to see the crash. And I'm like, man, don't even do that. But you can't, Some people that I have to see it with my own eyes. I hear how bad it is, but I just got to see it. All right, well, fuck. All right, well, you give them your $12, $15 to go watch that motherfucking IMAX. And then they be all mad and shit. Well, I have to tell you, but I had to see it. All right, well, you got those, man. You got a lot of folks like that, man.
Yeah, and Zax, I think you're right. Didn't Wolverine fuck Nightcrawler in canon? I'm pretty sure that happened.
I think
he fucked
so.
a couple people. Yeah, he fucked Cyclops in canon too. Him, Cyclops, and Jean are a throuple.
Yeah,
that's right.
Actually, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey were having a tripod together, and and then
terrible way of resolving
it got to the point where it got to the point where it was like a little scene or some shit where it was like she gets up and walks off, like, all right, guys, I'm going, and then Wolverine and fucking Cyclops look at each other, and they start getting close. Yeah, it was like some real whack shit. It's like they start getting close, and all of a sudden it alluded to the fucking. So it's like, oh, this is whack as fuck.
Who
man.
would ever think? Because when a lot of us watched the cartoon growing up, and that was the big little love triangle of Jean, Wolverine, and Cyclops, and that even played off in the movies.
Yep.
Who would ever think the resolution of it all these years later is like a fucking Pornhub Tumblr fantasy? Like, isn't that such a terrible way of result? Like, the 13-year-old me would have hated to know this.
Hey,
like,
how about this? Let me hit that bub.
Oh no. Oh man, that's
Wolverine in this bit. Hit that bub.
Yeah, well,
yeah, man.
It's probably somebody's wet dream that was writing it, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Out. Sox is saying that that's a different timeline, which it probably thank God. But that's what they're way out. Oh, it's alternate universe when this happens. Like, no, you can't just keep doing all this dumb shit. That was actually, you talked about my Joker review. That was my biggest criticism with the Joker, all the crazy shit they're doing in it. And then it came true with the Batman because they fucked up Bruce Wayne's parents in the Joker, and they're gonna keep fucking up Bruce Wayne's parents. Now they're all evil dumbasses, and I hate it. And that's why fuck you, DC. But
yeah, see, like
because when you do shit in an alternate universe, it will impact the main universe, or at least the main perception of it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you good. Nah, you're right. That's exactly what you just said had everything to do with what Sox is saying. Like Sox is saying, like, look, the 616 Wolverine, that's the Wolverine that we all know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not, he's just, he's Wolverine the way we always know it. And so the thing is I guess what he's saying is like we're watching a different version of Wolverine, and that version, and it's kind of like the New 52 or whatever. It's like we're watching, like a. It's supposed to be Wolverine, but then it's not, but he's the one that's smashing Cyclops. That kind of shit. Oh man, this is so fucked up, man. So it's kind of like the same shit they're trying to do with Batman and Superman at this point, man.
Yeah. And Kirk and Spock.
Oh. Yeah, that's right.
All these little fangirl fantasy fan fictions. And it's like, well, we'll take it serious. Hey, let's bring it into canon. Yeah, Kirk and Spock and all these others. It's all their freaky fantasies.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna bring all. You know what? That's the thing. They're bringing in fan fiction into this stuff. Bad fan fiction, horrible fan fiction, into these universes now because. I don't know why. They're just idiots, morons, buffoons. It's like, oh, let's not pay attention to the actual canon. Hey, let's go for the fan fiction.
Yeah, it's like yeah. It's like the thing is, it's like they're running with the most current version of these characters, and it's not the best versions. It's they it's like I say, it's the like the way all these characters like Thor and everybody that's not the original Marvel Universe versions of all these characters. The same way the Superman, like Henry Cavill Superman without the red trunks, that's not your original classic Superman.
No.
And that's the thing. It's like we're not getting. It's like for current times, we're getting this alternate version of all these characters, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it fucked up. And this alternate character it's like we're getting the worst versions of all these characters. It was the worst in comic books. People didn't buy the shit in comic books, so they're gonna sit there and turn the worst versions of all these characters into live action movies and expect us to just accept that for what it is. Fuck that, man.
Well, yeah, it's like, it's the old saying about being a moron by keeping on doing the losing thing over and over again and expecting it to change. Right. It's just. I mean, even with Star Wars, they're taking in the fan fiction like, oh, the lightsaber crystals bleed now, and that's why they turn red. And that was a fan fiction thing that they brought in there. Probably Pablo Hidalgo, as he was, trying to see if he can suck his own off, and instead of having it where it was a artificial crystal that was made, showing that the Sith were not really part of nature, and all the other fan fiction stuff they're bringing in that people had out there, that's like there was a reason why it was never brought in, because it wasn't good fan fiction. I mean, with the new Star Wars, they're sitting back saying the Mon Calamari cruisers that they had, going around there, the big flying pickle dildos, and they're saying, oh yeah, those were cities that the Mon Calamari had. That is the stupidest thing to say, because if you're trying to have a city escaping imperial persecution, what's the first thing you're going to do with a ship that's basically a refugee ship? Let's put it right into battle. It's like, we're going to try to be cool. We're going to try to be better. No, you're not. You're being morons and buffoons. It was even a sadder story when they're sitting back saying these used to be passenger liners that they vamped up to be battle cruisers. Thinking about something that'd be a pleasure cruiser, now they have to use it as a warship. It makes more sense than, hey, let's basically use refugee ships in battle. It's like, one of those ships goes out, there goes a bunch of Mon Calamari family. Way to go.
Yeah, but they don't really think things through. There's not a lot of attention to detail on what they produce. So that's why we got what we got. Yeah,
and that's what fan fiction is. It's just these little fanboys and fangirls going out there writing this crap and trying to put themselves into the universe. They're more obsessed with narcissism than they're actually with the lore. And whether that's DC, Marvel, Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, Star Wars, any of this stuff. And that's what we're getting. We're getting these narcissistic fools in. And trying to, it's like the bad Sheldon script for Star Trek, where, he's writing himself into that one. It's horrendous and it's horrible. And it should be right there in your face when Kathleen Kennedy sat back and said, well, we had no role with Star Wars. Really? You mean you didn't understand lore at all? I guess you're too busy getting Steven Spielberg his coffee to pay attention.
Yeah, man. That's a whole nother
right. So I mean, our superheroes are getting, just like you said, 24. It's like, oh, we only have this, this little bubble of maybe 20 years, and there's nothing that exists beforehand. Just like Jennifer Lawrence when she was flapping her gums saying she's the first female action star in the lead. I mean, what?
mentioning that story, that's a prime example of a story that, like, okay, I'm not falling for it. Like, she knows what she's doing when she says that.
Yeah, well, you read it and then you watch the actual video of her. She's acting all smug and full of herself. This was not a mistake.
Says that.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna entertain it. I'm not okay. Yep, whatever. I'm just out, because when I see that, it's like somebody hasn't been mentioned on Twitter in a minute. Somebody's career is not going quite where they want, and so they need some little controversy to get their name out there and make sure they're still relevant. So her they have publicists, they have people, handlers, agents, somebody like that. So, you should probably say something outlandish to get your name out there. She's like, I'm gonna just say I'm the first female action hero on some, just to get a lot of people talking, piss people off, and so that stuff. I'm like, okay, I see what this is.
Which is the wrong way to go, because that's not what you want. Yeah, I mean, outrageous is one thing, but to go out and actually make an outrageous statement that's so bloody stupid, where all you're doing is getting pounded on, that's like the worst thing you could do. You don't want that. People, when you become a laughing stock and a joke, that does not help your career. And she's the same with Viola Davis with that the Warrior Queen, all about one of the biggest African slave trade nations that they had there. But we're gonna quote unquote whitewash it out, because we can't have all that stuff that they were doing to their own people. And she's sitting back saying about how this is the greatest film that she's ever seen. They're acting like we're stupid. They think we are stupid. And them getting called out on that is just wonderful. I mean, just like George Takei, he shot his mouth off again on Twitter, and they just pounded down on him. Was it our old friend the Hulk himself, Ruffle Chips, or whatever the hell you want to call him? He goes about how he's leaving, and his entire timeline is basically, "Bye, Felicia. You didn't have to announce that you're going. We won't miss you." It's not getting the right response. When you're getting flamed, that's not the best response. You want people, oh yeah, sympathy. Outrageous stunts, if you're going to do it, you have to have talent and skill and intelligence. These people don't. They're too busy in their vapid little bubble. The oxygen level's dropping, so needless to say, the brain cells are dying. They have no concept of anything outside of their little bubble world. And they think they are the high society intellectuals of everything, and that we're all morons, and what they say goes, and we'll just follow along like a bunch of rats as they're piping like the Pied Piper. They're finding out now that's not the case, especially with Elon coming in there. Stuff that probably would have been stopped, and the bots going in there trying to make things not as bad. Yeah, congratulations. You just made a damn fool of yourself.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
I mean, look at what's his name, Glover or whatever, who played Marty McFly's dad. Look at his outrageous thing he did on the Letterman show, and how he was acting stupid. That lost him the role. Yeah. And that's what was that, about 30 some years ago? This stuff doesn't work. There's doing something outrageous that people laugh and go, "Hey, that's cool, that's neat," and they get your attention. And then you do these outrageous things that people sit back and say, "You're the dumbest MFer on the face of this earth. Go away." This isn't going to help her career. Not with the response going back to her.
We'll see. Terrible. I mean, it's not necessarily about getting our approval, though. It's about getting like the people who make these decisions approved. So I don't know if it'll work. Yeah. That doesn't mean they're not going to try.
But the thing is these are making stories, and they're seeing how the people are responding. After a while, they start saying this person is going to be toxic to us in the box office.
Hey, Dork Knight, I see you. Just in
hey,
chat.
Danny, how you doing?
Yeah, I was in the chat where you were talking. Now you're in the chat where I'm talking. So it looks like everything's.
I hope his show went well that he had there. So He was showing us all the notes. It looked like a novel, handwritten.
What
I'm
for the
surprised
wrestling
he-
show from earlier?
Well, yeah, whatever the show that he had that he was going to have, the Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark
Yeah,
Side of the Ring, yeah.
yeah. I'm
Oh man.
surprised he didn't. I'm surprised he didn't have carpal tunnel or writer's cramp after doing all those notes.
Well, they covered a lot of different wrestling shows that all
Yeah.
happened the past couple of days. So shout out to that
That's-
show. That was cool. The second
Hey,
on the
good to
second
hear, Danny.
episode, and it was cool. I saw some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went well there. I mean, and of course he was doing some important stuff. He was making sure he had his notes and everything going on there. It's like great job. I'm glad to hear that. I have to catch that on the flip side, definitely. But yeah, I mean, they can see when someone is being, going to be a negative to them by the reactions, and especially now that they're waking up and they're not getting the money where they're coming from, and that people are actually sitting back saying, "Hey, wait a moment, here's a novel thing. We need to make money. We have to do something that people come to the theaters for, especially in these times where people have less money to play with."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's true. Man.
Maybe not make movies so expensive and actually focus on
That-
a story. Then hey, we'll just have a mediocre story and a bunch of flashy, poor CGI, and that's what people want. And no, it's
well,
not.
they don't. They're trying to do budget and stuff, and they're raising the price on tickets. So they're just trying to,
Yeah.
Shut down. Yeah, he do kind of like a villain with the animal.
Oh yeah.
And that thing, but I'm not sure.
I
how
will
long the
get
show-
you yet, Dork Knight. I will get you eventually. Curse your hide, right, baby monster? Right?
Well, y'all stop with that takeoff thing. Actually, is like upsetting. Like, okay, it's not funny anymore, guys. It's like the guy got killed. And you guys, he killed her. Like, nah, please, man. I love you. Said you did over chill. But anyways, like I was gonna say, man. I'm not sure how long you guys were gonna go with the show, but I was gonna go ahead and if we were about to wrap pretty soon, cool. But
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's
otherwise,
been
yeah.
about 2 hours. Hard to believe. We've been really
Take off.
quiet.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Yeah, so we didn't even get to finish
Yeah.
the.
We didn't even finish the story, but we kind of get to the point. And this one's
I mean-
about to eat me because she needs her food.
Well,
She's our vacuum cleaner.
I'll tell you
Do you
what,
want me to finish the story? Do you want me to finish the story quickly? Oh, okay.
I mean, because actually, man, we already know what's going on, man, and
Right.
so basically, he's going to be switching out a few things, interchanging parts, and taking what's already established to see, what's going to fit and what's not going to fit into whatever his vision is going to be, man.
Mhm.
This week he's supposed to be presenting his plan to David Vaslav
Mhm.
about what his 10-year plan. He's gonna showcase it to him, but it doesn't mean that we'll be the one seeing it when he sees it. So basically, after he sees it, he might give a vague statement of what he likes, what he doesn't like, blah blah blah, or he might, this thing's gonna be fantastic, and you guys, just wait till you hear what, just wait till you hear what's, just wait till you hear, what the plan's going to be. But, they might spoon feed us the plan, but I don't think we're going to find out right from the beginning what everything is going to be. So, but the fact, the thing is not about what we like. It's going to be what David Vaslav likes when he, whatever the fuck. If he likes it, he likes it. And we'll see what happens from there, man. So, yeah, we just, guess we'll just wait and see, man. But, with that, you guys got any last words, man? Before we bounce?
Oh, not much. It's great to be
no,
here
no.
again and having fun with my two
right.
favorite co-hosts.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. I mean, you got anything you want to plug? Anything y'all want to say to the chat, man, before we bounce?
Nah.
Go for it.
Wednesday at on Pacific's channel, I believe that's going to be 7 Central. I could be wrong. We are going to do another movie. Talking through a movie. So the movie will be in Discord, I believe. and then we'll be talking about it, and people can go in the Discord to watch. It'll be Look Who's Talking, because we wanted to do something. It was free on YouTube, and we wanted to do a movie with Kirstie Alley, because her death still touches us. Like I said, she was a major crush of mine, honestly, through Star Trek, Cheers. Even as she's getting older, I think you were saying before about how fine she was even when she's getting into her 70s here, and she was. Tuesday, we have Tuesday Night Trek. That's going to be over at the Star Wars guys. Hopefully this weekend, Pop Culture Minefield and KDTV, if things go right. And of course, every Sunday, right here, with the ever powerful 24/7 Fusion Media and the ever mysterious Vigilante Williamson. It's at 5 o'clock Central Time. It's the Primetime Kings.
Hell yeah. Shit. That's what's
How you like that
Thank
plug, huh?
Yeah, that was cool, man. What you got, man?
I don't have anything, man.
Oh shit.
He's taking it easy. He's kicking.
Yeah,
He's got the peanut colattas. Yeah.
All right. Well, me, I'll just be dropping videos throughout the week, and shit, and I'll be seeing y'all on Wednesday. Hopefully, Loki will be back, and we'll do the comic book roundtable on Wednesday at p.m. over on Loki's channel, Loki's Mornings of Mischief. And from there, I'll be back here on Sunday to do the Primetime Kings at 5 p.m. So, and I'll be dropping videos in between. So, yeah, that's all I got. So, with that, I want to tell everybody that's been here kicking with us. You guys are funny. Appreciate y'all. We love each and every last one of y'all. Want to say thank y'all for spending this time with us. And hopefully you guys have a good evening and have a good rest of the week. And we look forward to seeing y'all next time. So this is Baron Norman Tag, Vigilante Williamson. I'm your boy, 24/7 Fusion Media. We're the Primetime Kings of live stream. And we're out. Peace.
Love you all. Peace.
Yeah.